This is Zac and Gus,
the podcast.
Rock, paper, scissors, rock. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Zac and Gus podcast, episode 14. Now,
No, it's 15.
Episode 15. Now, you're going to notice one very big difference right off the bat.
And that is that we are recording through Zoom.
Yeah, so this is like a throwback to the first 5 episodes, except now we can actually see each other, which is a bit better, and maybe you can see us too if we decided to release the video.
Yeah, so I just want to very quickly touch on the rock, paper, scissoring. That was near impossible, and we had 4 ties, which are probably not going to be included in the cut of the podcast.
No, definitely not.
Do we agree to take a temporary hiatus on the rock, paper, scissoring?
I don't know, Zach. I think it's a big part of our show, and I don't know if because we used to always play it. It started off as an audio thing. I don't think we can use this as an excuse not to play it anymore.
Did you not feel the massive problem that we had? We had 3 ties where we had to turn our microphones on and off because we can't say rock, paper, scissors at the same time through an internet call.
Well, I think... I don't know. I think the listeners will be disappointed. Also, how then do we decide the leader of the show? I would be disappointed if we couldn't continue having a leader of the show.
Okay, I think maybe then we will think of a plan. And
we'll update you guys next week. Yep, on whether rock. Well, you guys will know when you start listening to the next episode
whether rock, paper, scissors has returned.
That is, yeah. Okay, so we're back in lockdown, aren't we, Zach?
That is honestly really unfortunate.
So, Zach, I would argue that this show got a lot better when we got out of lockdown and we could actually see each other and we were in person.
I would argue the exact same thing. So 6 weeks of this is not good for the listener, especially if we're admitting it.
And we don't have a large audience, so keeping our current audience around, let alone growing a new one, if the quality of the show drops significantly, isn't going to be an easy task. So I reckon we've really got to up our game on the amount of content that we bring to the show, which I'm definitely not leading by example with that this week. I have jack shit.
But you do have a game. You have a game. So that is something
I have a game, and that was
to.
literally, I put that game in because I was like, there's no way I have enough of anything else. I've got to fill in some time here. I've just got a few quick things.
This is not a good thing to start the podcast on.
I've got a few quick things to go through before we get right into the podcast.
Yeah.
No update on my balls yet. That was a big thing last week.
Angus, I was literally going to ask that.
Was that your first thing? Okay, Zach, ask me about my balls then.
No, that's the last
Ask me about my balls.
Okay, we'll move.
Oh, it was the last thing.
Okay,
well, sorry, I destroyed your last thing. My balls, still no update. Haven't been to the doctor. Haven't really been...
But
I will go to the doctor soon.
You haven't been to the doctor?
No, I haven't even been to the doctor. So I assume the results have come through. I just haven't been to the doctor to ask about them.
Do they have any contact details for you to find out if there's anything
Oh,
wrong?
yeah, I could probably just call them up. But actually, this whole thing of me not doing things which I say I'm going to do does lead into the wish.com area. Last week, I promised I would contact my ex-landlord in relation to the wish.com items that we were going to review on this show. I have not, but considering we're locked down now, I have a good excuse. I have a good excuse not to go and get them.
No, because that puts off possible show content for 6 weeks.
Yeah, but Zach, I just can't. I can't go up there. That's not an essential activity. So I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place here.
No, you're stuck with your laziness.
All right, Zach. Well, I think we could
turn this into content and call your doctor on the show.
We could, except I think there's some sort of like doctor-patient confidentiality that would be breaking.
Yeah, probably. Angus, I have a confrontation for you.
Yep.
I would like to say that you said this last week on the podcast.
A special welcome to the YouTube viewers, listeners, whatever you want to call them. I
And-
was like, you could definitely be listening to this episode on YouTube on Sunday.
Angus,
Um,
what do you have to say?
maybe that statement wasn't entirely the truth. It was a bit of a stretched truth. We could call it that. I don't think we could call it a lie.
Is episode 14 up on YouTube this week? Today, sorry.
No, but
That is
episode
all- that
13 is. I'm
Oh, it
only.
should have
I
been
went
up the
from
week
being.
before.
I went from being like 6 or 7 episodes behind to only being 1 episode behind, and now that isn't what I promised, but it is certainly an improvement.
Oh, debatable. I wouldn't call it an improvement.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make.
Actually, no, sorry. I
There's
would
no
call
point
it
in
an
making this promise because the
Please,
listeners
please
won't
don't
hear
tell
this
me you're
until a
making
week from
another
now.
promise.
I'm not gonna make a promise because by the time the listeners hear this, episode 14 will already be out. I'm planning to render it tonight and have it up in the morning, which will be a day late. It'll be a day late, which isn't too bad. It's not too bad.
Okay, well, that. It's a good start, Angus. I will argue that for you.
But I will make another promise as well.
Oh no.
I will make another promise. This episode, the current episode we were recording, episode 15, will be out no more than 2 hours after the audio version comes out at 6 a.m. No more
That is-
than 2 hours. So it's going to be out. This episode will be out on YouTube by Sunday, 8 a.m., and that's a promise. So if you're listening to this right now and it's at least 8 a.m. on Sunday, if you're not, because I don't think many people listen to our podcast within the first 2 hours of it coming out.
No.
Go on the YouTube channel, check if I've told the truth, and if I haven't, send a message to @Zac and Gus on Instagram right now and just say, "Fuck you, Gus," or something
But it's
along
obvious
those
that
lines.
you're not going to have it done.
No. I will. I'll do it. I
Okay.
couldn't handle one of our listeners sending me the "fuck you" message. I'd get so sad and heartbroken, Zach.
Would you, or would you just go, I didn't fulfill another promise?
No, because I feel like the not fulfilling promises joke is kind of getting very old, especially considering the fact that we're back in lockdown. I have literally no excuse. If I don't get it done.
That is a very good point.
Also,
You're just lazy, but you've been lazy the whole
I
time.
have been lazy the whole time. Yeah, that's that.
Okay.
All right, Zach. Well, let's go from broken promises to this.
You bought 10 slabs of beer.
You bought a giant cardboard cutout of Zac?
Your net bank account balance is $0 and 0 cents.
Oh, no, Gus. What did you buy this week?
Well, let's find out, Zach, because this is Gus's Bad Financial Decisions. Yes, that's right. This is Gus's Bad Financial Decisions.
I feel like at this point it could just be a podcast for you and you could just create your own bad financial decisions podcast.
Featuring also Kyle Chat. Kyle Chat and Bad Financial Decisions would be a banger of a podcast.
It would get very repetitive. Repeated?
Repetitive?
Repetitive. That's the
Look,
word.
Zach, I think I've said this a few times, but I do think this is going to be the last. I don't think we're going to have a Bad Financial Decisions next week.
I would like to. Yeah, I understand the fact that for the next few weeks, you probably not going out will mean you're not going to have a lot of financial decisions that are bad.
Oh, I can easily make bad financial decisions from home, Zach. I just don't think I will because I've got literally no money.
Okay, that's a very, very good thing to stop you then.
You can't spend money if you don't have money.
Yeah, I can.
So spend,
Agree.
and that's how you stop making bad financial decisions. This is now turned into Gus's financial advice. To prevent spending your money on dumb things, spend all your money on dumb things.
Last time we did financial advice, it was very dull. Let's not go into that.
All right, so there's only 2 things that I've thought of for bad financial decisions this week.
Mm.
The first one is I might have spent okay, so I give myself a grocery budget of $120.
Yeah.
I might have spent way more than half of that on one item of food.
What item of food did you buy, Angus, and why was it probably the most idiotic thing ever?
It was alive, I'll tell you that much. So how many
Uh-oh.
how many foods can you buy that are still alive when you buy them?
Obviously not something that's eaten by you. Was it eaten by Dash?
No. This was eaten by me.
Oh. Oh, I saw this on your Instagram story. You bought a lobster.
I bought a freaking lobster. Now, Zach, I'm gonna give you a few guesses as to how much that lobster cost.
Well, you just said over half, so you've ruined that.
Well, did I tell you what my grocery budget is?
Yeah,
Oh, I did,
120.
didn't I?
I'm going
Okay,
to
so, all right.
say $70.
More.
75.
More.
80?
More.
Because if it's near 90, then that's like 3/4.
Less than 90. Less than 90.
85.
More.
Okay, this is useless.
86. It was $86. I got a
Why does a
lobster
lobster
from
cost
Footscray
that
Market
much?
for $86. I don't know. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna buy a lobster as a meme, and I didn't realize that it's actual rich person food.
Why did you get a lobster?
I don't know. It was a really expensive meme, essentially, and I didn't even have enough money. I just assumed that it wasn't going to be that expensive. I was like, oh, maybe $40. And then when I found out how expensive it was, I got one of my friends to lend me money to buy it.
Angus, Reese, that is such a dumb thing. And that was 1 day's worth of food for you. Because seafood, you can't eat seafood the next day, can you?
Well, this is how... I also didn't know how you prepare a lobster. So you buy it live. And I'll tell you, Zach, definitely the most terrifying food I've ever eaten.
Yeah, I would understand that.
They have this tail and it flaps like... And it could definitely break your hand.
That is scary. So I don't like that. It's meant to be food. You eat it. You don't get killed by it.
And so I was like really terrified to even pick it up. My mate picked it up and I took a photo of him with it. And then a second after that photo was taken, it started fucking whipping its tail like, and then he just had to fucking throw it.
That's really bad.
And then it lands on his bench and it starts like flapping around on the bench and we're all screaming. It was terrifying.
That's really not a good thing.
And so then, like, we just wanted a photo with it. Then we found out how you prepare it. So you have to kill it just before you cook it, essentially, by drowning it. And
Wait, why?
So
Wait. One? Why the hell do you have to drown it? It's a sea creature.
I don't even understand that, but you put it in a bucket of water and it poops and dies.
That's the best way to die. Oh, that's probably how I'm gonna die. Pooping and then
So
dying.
yeah, so we put it in a bucket of water. It was a big one. Like that's why it cost so much. It was a really big lobster. So we had to wait like 20 minutes for it to die. And
this is so bad if we've got Peter as in like the animal protection people.
and then after it dies, you have to slice the whole thing in half. And it's like got a really hard shell. So that was really hard to do. And then you like make this. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of ways to prepare lobster, but then we like cooked up a sauce. And you cook the lobster, and then you pour this sauce over it. I guess I'll put some photos maybe on our Instagram story of that whole process. But Zach,
Angus,
I don't know if it was worth $86.
I was gonna ask
fuck,
that.
It's the best tasting meat I've ever eaten.
Really?
For sure.
I actually
Yeah, it
seafood
tasted
is
so
really
good.
nice.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would spend $86 on it, Angus. That's a bit too much.
I'm definitely not doing that again anytime in the near future, but now I can killing and cooking a lobster off my bucket list.
Was it on your bucket list to begin with?
I don't actually have a bucket list, but if I had one, that might be on
I
it.
think we should create you a bucket
We
list.
should do that. Yubo Premium. So last week, Zach asked me if I am still using the popular...
A child dating app.
It's not a child dating app after you turn over 18. It flips, and then you get people who are over 18.
Yeah.
So I'm not
One would
perving
hope.
on kids, Zach.
One would hope it flips after 18.
So Zach asked me if I still used this app last week, and I was like, no. And then it was back in my
That was an
mind.
off-podcast discussion, by the way.
So I re-downloaded it, and
Angus,
I
why would you get...
I made a profile, and I realized very quickly that you have to. It's literally like any mobile game. It's pay to win, essentially.
Like, it's not a game.
Yeah,
The dating
but
service is not pay to
life
win.
is
You
sort of a
cannot
game in
label
a way,
dating
Zach. Life
service.
is sort of a game. And in life, in most situations, you can pay to win. And it's the same with Yubo. You pay to have your profile not buried under all the other profiles. And, I stupidly did pay
I
for
really doubt that's how it works. How much did you waste on that, Angus?
I don't know, because I just added it to my phone bill.
Angus, that is
But
almost as bad as Zip paying it.
but I noticed an immediate difference. You get to get put on the top like once a week for like half an hour, and in that half an hour you get like just constant matches. So it is sort of pay to win. Definitely not worth the money. Yeah, there's no real upside to this.
That is a real bad financial decision.
It really
I cannot
is,
believe you made
because I
that
have
call.
no reason to do it. I'm not even going to be meeting anyone for the next at least 6 weeks.
Well, exactly.
And so
what
far,
are you going to do?
I've had it for like a week.
Zoom date them?
I think I've had it for about a week, and so far it's led to one sort of decent conversation. Not worth it at all. Not worth it at all.
Oh,
Don't pay for
you
the
are
premium
hopeless.
on dating apps. On any dating apps. That's Tinder, Bumble. They all have a premium
when
version.
you're 18.
I mean, yeah. You live and you
I'm thoroughly
learn.
disappointed in you.
You live and you learn, Zach.
Have you cancelled the subscription? If you've learnt, you've cancelled it.
Do you want me to cancel it right now, live on the show?
I would love you to cancel it.
Sadly,
right now,
my
live on the
phone is
show.
being used as my webcam, so I can't do that.
Okay.
But I
Well,
can
in that
cancel it
case-
because I paid for a month.
Okay. From there, I'll move on to something that I didn't cancel but did happen online. Angus, we plugged the podcast. We want to get it. Oh.
Gus is drinking water.
Yes, I was.
Haven't made the opener any less shorter.
Any less shorter?
But please don't drink water.
I won't. Okay. All right.
Okay, so over the week, Daniel Andrews, Victoria's Premier, announced in one of the biggest press conferences yet of the coronavirus pandemic that Melbourne and surrounds were going into a lockdown.
Yes.
Now, most of the major news streaming services, they do like a live stream of all of his press conferences, and I decided I'm bored, I'm on the bus, I'll watch the press conference. And I was like, oh my god, there are 20,000 people watching this press conference.
That is a lot of people.
And at one point, it got to 25,000.
I don't know how this
So do you
has
know what I did?
anything to do with plugging the podcast.
I commented, need a comedy podcast to soothe this bad news? Search Zac and Gus.
Of course you did.
I
And
plugged the podcast to 25,000 people, and did it have an impact on the podcast? I don't think so.
did it are you able to get likes on that comment?
Yes and no, I didn't get any likes.
You didn't get any likes. So you plugged the podcast to a bunch of people who were listening to a press conference on coronavirus, and no one clicked it. Because
I would assume that's because a bunch of Karens don't really care about a comedy podcast.
no, I can't say that. I listen to a lot of comedy podcasts. Can't say I've ever listened to a live Daniel Andrews broadcast of a press conference.
I feel like comedy podcast listeners and Daniel Andrews press conference watchers are two circles completely not in a Venn diagram.
Yeah, I mean you've got some crossover everywhere, but there wouldn't be much. Well, I reckon we go straight from that into a game. Finally, I've brought a game to the show. It's not a new game, but it is this.
Zac loves fast food, you already know, but can he guess the menu items from LA to Tokyo? Zac loves fast food, but is he able to remember menus on the show?
This is the International Fast Food Guessing Game.
That's right, I'm bringing back the International Fast Food Guessing Game, a game that hasn't featured for 10 episodes. Literally,
Oh, wow. It's 10.
we were still in lockdown last time this game was featured on
I
the show.
remember that.
So
And I didn't win once, so let's hope I can come back and do something from this.
So essentially how this game works is I give Zach an international fast food menu item and 3 countries, one of which is the country it is sold in. He has to guess which country it is from the 3. So far, we've done McDonald's and KFC. This round is Burger King, or Hungry Jack's as it is known here in Australia.
Ooh, nice.
And pretty much, if Zach wins, I have to shout him a Hungry Jack's meal. If he loses, he has to shout me a Hungry Jack's meal. So far, he owes me 2 KFC meals and a McDonald's meal. So let's hope
This is really not going good for me.
let's hope there's a win here for Zach today. I will tell you, Zach, that none of the menu items featured today are, well, I mean, you'll know because I'll give you the options, but none of them are from Hungry Jack's, the Australian version of Burger
Okay,
King.
so they're all Burger King.
These are all Burger King items. We're going to start off with round 1, the Windows 7 Whopper.
You're joking.
I am not joking. So this menu item was only available for 1 week in 2009, presumably to commemorate the release of the Windows 7 operating system. So
weird.
This burger is a regular Whopper, but with 7 beef patties.
No, that's so good.
So it was available for 1 week in one of these countries, Zach. America, Japan, or South Korea.
I'm going to go South Korea.
All right. And can you explain the logic, the thought process behind that decision, Zach?
Okay, so I feel like you've chucked in America because that's the throwaway, because that Windows 7 technology, America.
Yep.
That's the throwaway.
That is the throwaway.
I feel like...
I mean, no,
I feel like
that's not the
Japan's-
throwaway.
Was it America?
No, I haven't announced anything yet.
Okay. And I feel like you've put in Japan as a throwaway because they do wild food, and you want me to meet somewhere in the middle in South Korea.
That is it. I like that thought process, but you are incorrect. It was Japan.
Okie dokie.
All right, round 2, we have warm Belgian waffles. These are Belgian waffles,
Ooh.
presumably served warm, although I can't confirm or deny that, accompanied by ice cream and your choice of caramel or chocolate sauce. Your options are
Ooh.
Belgium, Switzerland, or Austria.
Oh, okay. Belgium's the throwaway. I'm going to go Switzerland.
You are correct. What made you choose Switzerland over Austria, with Belgium obviously being the throwaway?
I just feel like I thought Austria would be... I just think they're too small to experiment with fast food combinations.
Interesting. Okay, well, round three, we have the spicy shrimp Whopper. This is a regular Whopper topped with crispy shrimp, spicy tomato sauce, creamy mayonnaise, lettuce, onion, and tomato. And your options are Japan, China, or Thailand.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Chicken was banned, or like it was facing something really negative in China. You told me that last time we played this game because there was a shrimp burger.
Yes.
China.
So, interesting thought process there. Zach has actually remembered the last edition of the game that we played, which is very impressive. That was like 10 weeks ago. Sadly, incorrect. It was
Damn it.
actually Japan, and that is the exact reason I threw China in there, because I knew... Well, I kind of
You
expected
dog.
you would remember the last round.
You dog. I'm so mad at that.
Yeah, no, it was not China, it was Japan. Now we have round 4. Now this has 2 names. I'm going to give you the name in the language. Hopefully that doesn't give it away. And I'm also going to give you the translated name. So this is the
Okay.
Sufgani King or Donut Burger, which is A
Ooh.
regular Whopper, but instead of buns, it's between 2 fried donuts that are filled with tomato sauce.
Ew, that is disgusting, and I would never, ever, ever let that in me.
I'm not gonna lie, I would definitely let that in me.
Disgusting. What are my options?
Your options are America, Turkey, or Israel.
You would chunk in Turkey and Israel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Turkey. I feel like Israel wouldn't even have a Burger King.
That is incorrect. It was Israel. It was Israel.
Oh, I've lost another one of these games. I propose to you that if you ever bring this game back, you're only allowed to give me 2 options because I have a horrible track record in this.
What?
feel
So
like
I
it's
have
too
to
unfair
make
at
the
this
game
point.
easier because you're shit at it.
Yeah, obviously. That's not. Has there ever been a game where where neither of us has won more than 2 consecutive versions of it? No game has ever made it 3 rounds and failed. And no. The answer is no.
Well, there's a first time for everything, and maybe we can get a 4th round. Maybe we can make that 4.
Make it easier for me.
Look, all right, mate. I'll consider it, but this game might not come back for a little while anyway. Anyway, round 5 for glory points, Zach. The Sprout Surprise Whopper. This is
Ew.
a regular
What the hell are
Whopper
these burgers?
with an added Brussels sprout patty and Emmentaler cheese. Your options are UK, America, or New Zealand.
Oh, that's weird. So it definitely came from a first world country. I'm gonna say America would be way. They wouldn't be risky enough to try it on home soil, and I feel like I'm gonna go New Zealand.
Sadly, you're incorrect there, Zach. It is the UK, and I think
Damn it.
the UK is the traditional place where Brussels sprouts are consumed.
Really?
Wouldn't be sure on that. I mean, I don't know why anyone would consume a Brussels sprout willingly, but
Let alone assign it to a country.
Anyway, that's it for that game. Zach loses, and he now owes me 4 fast food meals.
This is
2
such a
from
scam.
KFC, 1 from Macca's, 1 from Hungry Jack's, and I couldn't be f***ing happier, Zach.
And I don't have a job anymore.
Oh no! All right. Well, I won't bring this.
Nor do you.
I won't bring this game back until you get a job, Zach. How about that?
Okay, I look forward to the day where I can
This
say
has
I have a
become just
job.
a really good tactic to get free food. Honestly, not that I've
Well, you
received
haven't
any of
redeemed
said
it
food yet, but I'm banking it up. If I ever become homeless, I'll have enough food to eat for like an entire week.
I hate that so much. Oh, well, it would be good enough to make me cry.
Make you cry?
But Angus, yeah. Do you know what was good enough to make me cry?
What?
Big Brother.
Wow. Wait, so are you referring to when you told us about the guy getting reunited with his dog on Big Brother?
Yeah, Chad from Big Brother, made me cry again.
He made you cry again.
I know, I'm a bit embarrassed by this twice. From the same show and the same person. It gets a bit too much at that point, don't you think? Oh, thank you very much, Angus. I'm just going to fade it out
Gus
here.
is drinking
We all know
water.
what's happening. Stop drinking water on the podcast.
I'll stop drinking water if you stop crying during Big Brother.
Okay, so essentially this is pretty quick, but what happened is he's like created a mini relationship in the Big Brother game, and he told Sophie, his girlfriend, because they announced that coronavirus had hit, and she was like, oh no, I can't get back home to where I live in Europe. And he was like to Sophie, don't worry, you'll always have a place to stay at mine. Obviously it had been a really long day, and that made me cry.
Wow.
I'm not proud of it at all, but I feel like I had to let you know.
I can't believe. So those are the first 2 times ever that you've cried during anything on TV.
On TV, I did cry to Toy Story 3, but that's a bit different.
It just doesn't seem that dramatic to me.
Angus,
I
you
might
need to
get
get into it.
I might get slightly emotional watching that, but I wouldn't fucking cry.
Oh mate, it was a tearful experience.
I'm
But
sure.
that's
I'm
really
sure.
all I had to
I
bring
feel like
about it.
next time you cry during Big Brother, you have to take a photo.
Do you want, I've got a photo. I've got
Oh,
many
you have
photos.
photos? Yes, yes, we need to see this.
See, the thing is, when I cry, I don't visibly cry a heap. It's just a small amount.
I need to
a
see
little bit of
some.
tears.
I need to see some moist. I need to see wet on your face, Zach.
Here. And then that was Chad 2 week. That was the most recent one. I'll try and find the 2 weeks ago one.
Okay. I want. Did you cry more for the dog or more for the guy saying that the girl could stay at his place?
More for the dog, which I think is a good thing.
Why is that a good thing? Surely that's less emotional.
But the dog was really cute. Ah, here we go. Here's me crying to the dog.
All
Both
right.
of those
well,
photos might be put on the
that
Instagram
is
story.
amazing. I love that. Let's go straight from that into this is a big news story. That I felt originally I was like, I'm not bringing this to the show, but then the fucking New York Times reported on it, and I was like, wow, this is big. This is big for Australia. So
I think I know what you're talking
Zach
about.
will know exactly. This is something that happened on Friday night in Melbourne. I think everyone pretty much in the fucking world knows about it. But a large KFC order has led to police finding more than 12 people hiding at a house party, and more than $26,000 in fines have been given out for this. Now,
Who told the police?
have you actually not read the story?
No, I haven't read the story, but who's the snitch that tells the police?
It was two paramedics in the KFC who saw, because I think it was two people who were making the order, and they were ordering like 20 separate meals, and two paramedics were in the KFC and reported them to the cops.
Well, that could just be me and you after I lose so many games.
It could be, but it's not likely, Zach. I mean, 20 meals
That's
is
very
quite
true.
excessive. I think we would have to stop the game if it got to that point.
That is, I mean, okay, I guess it's the right thing. Tell me more about the story.
All right, I'll just read it out pretty much. I don't remember if I took this from the New York Times version. I just found it insane that the New York Times considered this newsworthy. But I guess it is pretty.
I would consider it newsworthy. It's pretty big order.
Yeah.
Pretty big news to catch someone, and wasn't it like 16 other people
Yeah.
out for breaking coronavirus laws because of KFC?
So, Chief Commissioner Shane Padden of the Victoria Police announced a hefty fine at a news conference, saying that 16 people had broken coronavirus restrictions by attending. It was actually a surprise birthday party at a home in Dandenong.
Idiots.
The police.
Oh, it's Dandenong. Okay, understandable.
The police said they were tipped off to the party after two ambulance workers inside a KFC in Dandenong noticed other customers placing an unusually large order. They saw two people in there, and they were ordering 20-odd meals at 1:30 in the morning. I don't understand that, though. How were they ordering 20 meals? Because why would they order 20 meals for 16 people? That's some facts there.
Maybe someone was very hungry.
I
Can
guess.
you not say that word? Because the amount of bleeping I've had to do this episode already.
I'm sorry. Commissioner blah, 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 blah. The pair spoke to employees at the store and the police were notified. The officers obtained the registration of the vehicle used by those people, which they followed to a townhouse. So they really put quite a bit of effort in to tracking these people down.
Good on them. Good on them. Don't be idiots, guys. Stay home.
What I don't understand, though, is if you were at a 20-person house party just after the restrictions had been introduced and you were trying to evade the police, wouldn't you not take the car that is at that, like, registered to that house? If there's 20 people there, there must have been other cars.
Surely, yeah, how do the neighbors not dob them in at that point
Yeah.
as well?
I mean, unless everyone came on
getting-
public transport or something. I don't know.
But I feel like they wouldn't have thought that far through.
Yeah.
I don't think they were going to get dobbed in at the KFC.
Yeah, true. The officers obtained the register. Blah, blah, blah. I already read that. Inside, they found 2 people asleep and 16 people hiding in the backyard, garage, and underbeds. Commissioner Patton said that the KFC meals were...
So they were hiding.
Yeah, they were hiding. The KFC
God,
meals were for a
idiots.
birthday party, and the police issued 16 infringements, and each infringement was $1,652. Very expensive
That's
KFC
one
meal.
expensive KFC meal, yeah.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
Angus. My next one is again quite short. Rocka Rocka, the YouTuber artists behind hits that really defined our year 7, like this.
I'm just a dumb redhead ginger. You better run. I want your soul.
And this.
Yeah, you know what it do. Leap Australia, leap Australia, leap Australia, leap Australia.
Do you remember them?
I don't know which particular 2 songs you just chose, but yeah.
They have... You will not believe it. I don't know why they've been chosen, but Rocka Rocka are getting a movie.
What? I thought you were going to
know.
announce that they're getting cancelled or something. How the fleek have they survived PC culture? Like, seriously.
I've got no clue, and I didn't do any research into this, but I'm pretty sure it's a $6 million budget.
Wow. Wait, are you sure this is Rocka
don't even-
Rocka or is it Racka Racka?
Oh, no.
I think
What's
Zach.
Racka Racka?
I think
Angus?
you've got it mixed up.
Okay, here we go. Yes, I was wrong.
Zach was wrong. Look, it's an easy mistake to make. It's a 1-letter difference.
Racka Racka is a YouTube channel by Australian twins, Angus.
And
So, very
you would
close.
know. I think most of our listeners would probably know who Racka Racka are from all the like Ronald McDonald videos and
I've
shit.
got no clue. Obviously,
Haven't you? Okay,
had never heard of them.
you've probably seen their videos at some point and just don't. know
I'm
it's them.
looking through like image search, and I do not recognize them one bit.
Yeah, but because usually they're like dressed up in their videos and like bashing each other dressed as Ronald McDonald and stuff.
Oh, well, that's a bit weird. Well, that really ruins it.
Yeah,
I was excited for the boys.
you were excited.
Speaking of Rocka Rocka,
So to clarify, Rocka Rocka is a group that does parodies of famous songs that are. You'd probably know them most famously from the Ebola song.
yeah, and they were very inappropriate, but I've just checked his channel, and he is still making videos. So,
Well,
how the hell that
good
happened?
to know
I
that
don't
he is still surviving. Yeah, is that all you had to say about?
That is unfortunately all I had to say about something that I was wrong about.
You were completely wrong. All right. Well, I'm really stretching for content here, but I am doing a clinical trial, Zach.
You did tell me about this, but you didn't give me any information. What are you trialing?
I am trialing. Well, this is if I get accepted. Yesterday, I went to like the thing where they test your eligibility. So essentially, they took my blood and my piss, and now they have to.
Ew.
They pretty much have to check if I have any like illicit drugs in my system, and then I'll probably be accepted.
Is this why you're going sober?
No, I just decided to do this because Zach, it's hard times right now. Everyone's wanting a bit of extra cash, me included. I have a lot of things that I want to buy. Namely, like a camera so I can continue doing YouTube, and there's some other stuff I want to buy. So I was like, easy money, let's get shot up with some experimental drugs.
Oh no, what are you experimenting on?
Now, I would like to say first off that in like the 20 plus years that the Nucleus Labs or Center for Clinical Studies has been operating, there have been no issues. No one has died. So
Well, that's a good start.
this is safe except for the like very minute possibility of having some bad side effects, which is because they've done extensive testing on these drugs already on animals. Very unlikely, but yes, still a possibility, so that's a risk.
Oh yes, more for the animal cruelty on the show.
Yes. But yeah, that's like a risk that you weigh up. What's worth more? Maybe having some bad side effects or the money.
Your life, some money.
So this is but it's also for a good cause. So this is a drug to treat motor neuron disease.
Oh, that's very good.
So at least, yeah, it's for something good. I get some money out of it. I hopefully probably don't die, and yeah, that's about it. I'll give you an update. Maybe if the show ever just suddenly becomes the Zac podcast, you'll know why.
Well, no, if you die, I'm not turning this into my... Actually, no, I'm not going to say that, just in case shit goes bad.
If I die, Zac, what is your plan? I feel like we've definitely talked about this before, but what happens? Are you going to bring in... Are you going to bring in the other Gus?
No, so if you die, what I'll do is I'll just probably find someone that can pretend to be you for as long as possible, milk it off, and then once I'm a bit bored, end it abruptly.
So are you going to pretend I didn't die?
Yeah, I'll just try and...
Nah, but I feel like it would be way better for the show if I did die. Because then you could literally have a news article made about it and you would get so much publicity.
But think about the publicity if 3 months down the track, some dude dies, podcast continues, listeners don't know this.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay, guys, the Zac and Gus podcast will continue forever.
Zac, do you have anything else?
I would like to finish off this week's podcast with an update. Last week I announced that I was creating a second version of you in The Sims Angus. We're checking in on you, Gus. What has The Sims version of Angus done this week?
I wonder if it'll be similar to what... Let's see how similar Sim me is to real me.
Okay, so at the very start of the week, some dude called Eugene came into your house. You, after a very quick chat with him, learnt that he is evil, you got angry at dinner, and you kicked him out.
Wait, so he just walked into my house and he was suddenly having dinner with me?
Correct.
Okay.
He walked in, helped himself to the food you made, and then, yeah. Okay. Next up, you became good friends, best friends actually, with Alex, who is your housemate. Last week we said we were going to pursue a romantic thing with Alex, if you remember that.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do.
So that was the next stage.
Well, last week you told me that I was just like getting to know my housemate and that it would definitely become sexual. So
correct. Yes. Your job title thing goal went away from influencer, and it's now you're striving to become fabulously wealthy.
That's so. Is that just my job, becoming fabulously wealthy?
That's your end goal, I think. I don't.
Do
really
I have
know
a
how
specific job that I do to achieve that?
I think you work in a cafe.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll increase that. Okay. Unfortunately, that's when the tutorial ended and Alex left.
So.
But I was given the option to create a new housemate, and I did, and your new housemate is called Piper.
Piper. Okay.
So that, of course, means that we're pursuing Piper sexually.
So have things gotten saucy with Piper yet?
I'll update you that in a second. So, and then you were making breakfast and Piper started a fire, and that caused a lot of drama. So I'm going to tell you that. The last day of the weekend, so we skipped to the Sunday, because not much happened for the rest of the week. 2 people came over to your house. The old roommate Alex invited herself for dinner, and some other dude. I don't remember his name.
Okay.
The other dude took Piper into another room and tried to get with her.
What's he doing with Piper, Zac?
You'll find out in a second. While they were in another room, you tried to get it on with Alex.
Wait, I thought Alex was gone.
Yeah, but she invited herself over for dinner, so she was back in the game, and it was a bit confusing.
Okay.
But Alex turned you down and got angry and left the room. And while that was happening, Piper and her dude were making out.
No!
Don't worry, though. Piper's dude left. I sent your character into the room with Piper, and you continued where the other dude left off.
Wow, that's great. Okay. So, is that all that's happened so far?
No. It went so well that you guys went on a date, became official, went home, and woohooed.
We woohooed?
It's their version of fucking.
Oh, I thought you meant we went over like... I was very confused. Okay. So is it actually called that in the game? It's called woohooing.
That is actually woohooing. Yeah, make your Sims woohoo. It's a bit weird.
That is so weird. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely...
So it was a very eventful week in The Sims for
I
you.
definitely have a more active sex life in this game already than in real life. So that's great to know.
And I think on that note, we will end this week's podcast.
Absolutely. Apologies if I'm sure the quality's definitely gone down a bit in this episode, but I reckon we'll bring it back up as we get used to this
Honestly,
style.
I think this went a whole lot better than we expected. Like, being able to see each other really helped.
But I think in the weeks to come, it's going to get better. But then when we get out of lockdown again and actually record in person again, it'll probably get worse again. I don't know.
Shut up.
I don't know. I don't know, Zach.
We're good.
All right.
We're amazing. We're
Thank
the top
you.
podcast in the world.
We are the top podcast in the world, and that's not changing anytime soon. So
If you enjoyed this, share it with your friends and leave us a rating. If you didn't enjoy it, share it with your friends. Leave us a 5-star rating.
So make sure you tune in next week. We'll see you guys then. That brings us to the end of another Zac and Gus episode.
You can like us on Facebook, Zac and Gus.
You can follow us on Instagram at Zac and Gus.
And you can contact the show anytime by emailing zacandgusshow@gmail.com.
Make sure you hit subscribe, and we'll see you next week.